Hi guys, it's Janet with Living Room Talks. Right now I have with Pierre Nesbit with me. Pierre, introduce yourself.
How you doing, everybody? My name is Pierre Nesbit. I'm currently one of the assistant athletic trainers working at the University of Michigan with the football team. I've been an athletic trainer since 2013, so for about 8 years now.
So being at the University of Michigan, what was surprising to you upon getting the position and what do you love about working there?
I can't really say anything surprised me. Prior to me coming here, um, I did an internship in New England with the Patriots, and one of the assistants left the Patriots to come here. When I left my internship with the Pats, I went to work in the NBA for a year, and after that year, they ended up having a job opening here, and former boss called and said, "Hey, we got some open here. I'd like to be able to potentially get you in here," and everything just kind of worked out from there. So I can't really say anything surprised me. I've worked in college athletics before, big D1 football programs, and I worked with Dave before. So, I kind of knew what I was getting into. So nothing really caught me off guard per se.
So how did you decide that athletic training was going to be your career slash profession?
So I was coming out of high school. I didn't have an athletic trainer in high school, so I didn't really know what athletic training was, but I kind of saw that, my Hall of Fame basketball career wasn't trending in that direction like it was supposed to. So I said, I got to stay involved in athletics, whether it's coaching or, what else can I do that can kind of keep me on the sideline and involved. And I found out about physical therapy. So I originally went to Howard University as pre-PT, and I got to Howard. I didn't really like the like courses I was taking my first year. Everything about PT, they were focused on, the clinical setting, working with the older population. And I was just like, yeah, no, this isn't really what I signed up for. And I so happened to be playing basketball at the gym one day, and I saw this guy just in passing. His name was Carlos Perry. I was in passing. He was the head athletic trainer. I walked by and I saw him like taking this guy's ankles before they had basketball practice. And I was like, what? Who is this dude? Like, what is he doing? Like, that looks cool. So I went over and I talked to him, introduced myself, and I literally just said, who are you? And like, what are you doing? And he told me, I'm the head athletic trainer for the team. I'm taking these guys, getting ready for practice. And we kind of sat down for a little while. He kind of like, opened the door for me and introduced me to athletic training. The next semester, and this took place in the fall, the next semester in the spring, he was actually teaching his first intro to athletic training course. I ended up taking the course. Due to some financial restraints, I had to leave Howard because they were going up on tuition. I ended up transferring to Purdue University, got into their athletic training education program, and here we are.
So what do you are most excited about in your daily working?
I enjoy working with my rehab guys, all of us on staff. Everyone pretty much has a case or two that they're working with from a post-op standpoint. I mean, I enjoy being able to get in here, push my guys to new heights, to new not PRs, but new levels in their goals that they've set for themselves and things of that nature. I just like to see them take those steps, progress, overcome those obstacles, begin to work our way and transition into, more difficult exercises or running or beginning to work our RTP program and things of that nature. So that's kind of what I look forward to. Sometimes I wake up thinking, oh, we're gonna be able to do this today. Hopefully what I did yesterday, he's not too sore, then perfect, we can do this. So I'll kind of think about things like that as I'm coming into work, but that's what I'm most excited about, typically on a day-to-day basis, outside of Saturdays in the fall. But, on a day-to-day, what else can I do with my guy? What else can I throw at him? Is he going to respond well enough to this where we can progress? or we're gonna have to kind of stay here until he adapts and gets used to this and then take the next step forward. So it's all about the challenges and trying to keep these guys engaged and not necessarily doing the same old, mundane exercises day after day after day, but trying to keep it fresh, keep them engaged and really push them, because even though they're injured, they're still competitors. They still want to play and be able to compete and things of that nature. So I like to try to introduce things like that to kind of keep them involved in the rehab.
So you spoke of Saturdays in the fall. Right now, I'm working with baseball right now, and there's superstitions and routines and things that we have to do before game time. Do you have anything like that? Any superstitions or any routines that you have to do on game days?
Uh, I mean, not personally. I mean, at the University of Michigan, we got the Go Blue sign when we come out of the locker room. So, from a institutional standpoint, everybody hits that sign, and then we got the banner, so everybody hits the banner. But I mean, not ritualistic. I mean, maybe I do when we get on field, they do the national anthem. I don't necessarily salute, but I will close my eyes and like do a moment of prayer, just over everybody on the field, both teams, the medical staff. I hope everybody comes out of that thing clean. I hope everybody from a medical standpoint has a real quiet game, outside of high and by. We really shouldn't need to chit chat and, kind of get into anything really too serious outside of how you guys doing. Everything worked out well, perfect, great. So I'll do that pregame, but that's really it. Nothing crazy. Like let me do 3 heel locks instead of 2 today because this is a big game. Nothing too crazy.
I always tell people a slow and boring day for me is a very, very good day.
That's indeed. Keep it quiet. The only people that should be making noise are the people in the stands.
And I tell people too, if you never see me, that's a good day too.
That's right. When people go, you don't do anything, you just stand around. Like that's the best case scenario. You don't want me busy. I shouldn't be sweating by the end of the day. That means some might have went awry.
So I know NATA convention is virtual this year, but I'm fingers crossed that next year is going to be in person. What do you look forward to when you go to convention? Is there agenda or certain events that is on your to-do list?
The crazy thing is I've never been. Undergrad, didn't go, I had to work, so I couldn't really get to NATA. And then grad school, we weren't going because the staff was going. Somebody had to stay back with the players and, kind of watch workouts and things of that nature. And then once I got out of grad school, started working, as an intern and got jobs, it just never really panned out. But I'm hopeful, kind of looking forward to potentially being able to be in Philly next year, especially, with the start of the think tank and all the new people I've been able to connect with, things like that. So to meet some of these people that you've been looking at and talking to via Zoom and text and, kind of really sit down and converse and, fellowship and things of that nature in person whenever the world opens up again. So hopeful.
So the pressure is on. I'm going to be on you about seeing you in Philly next year.
Oh, if I'm in Philly, you may see me. I don't know what I'll be doing, but you may see me.
All right. So this past year has been kind of crazy, to put it lightly, with COVID, social justice, return to sports. How have you been coping with everything?
I mean, COVID was COVID. I saw once we knew that the season was gonna be a go and things of that nature. I saw it as any other illness that we kind of have to deal with on a daily basis now. It could have been a little bit more severe, considering how many people died from it. So I don't speak light about it in that manner. But from an operational standpoint, it was just something else that, we had to look in the face, conquer and work with, not necessarily work around. There's no getting around it. Somebody's gonna catch a case. I don't think anybody out there had clean teams that did not catch it. You were gonna catch a case, so everything was
If I know one, I want to talk to you. I want to talk
like
to you.
what were y'all doing? They might say, "Oh, we didn't do anything this year. My team didn't compete." But oh, that's why you didn't have the cases. Okay, sounds good. But everything here was just, all right, what do we need to do in the event that we get hit with a case? Like, what's our protocol once they go in the box, once they get out of the box? What's our return to play progression? What's our testing looking like from a medical model before we go clear to practice? Not clear to play, before we go clear to practice. Tolerated practice, all right, how are we definitively going, all right, good to compete in an actual game and things of that nature. So yeah, that's how I handle COVID. With respect to the social justice issues, I just can't watch the news. Like I can't watch. I mean, growing up in Chicago, I don't want to say I'm kind of numb to the things that have taken place, but I can't watch the news. I can't just sit and watch. Some people watch CNN all day. I can't. I can't just just have that sadness just burden down on me. But you know, it was rough, especially being here with our guys and so many young African American men on a football team that, you know, kind of want their voices to be heard and kind of let people know, you know, this is what we got going on out here. You know, people are talking about, you know, are you guys gonna play football? What's going on with the season? Blah blah. And these kids are over here like, you know, that could have been me. So like, you know, some things just seemed a little bit more important with respect to what everybody was worried about. But you know, I talk to people. You know, I'm not a big talker, so you know, I'm not telling everybody every day how I feel. But you know, I talked to some people, and you know, we kind of talked about, you know, how each other felt, and you know, I've been in situations like some of those gentlemen. You know, lucky enough, I was able to get out with my life. So you know, I know what people are going through, and you know, it sucks, and it's hurtful that this is year 2021 and we're still going through things like this, and it's normal. People just go, nah, it happened. It happens. People will get over it, and it's like it's still just heavy on a day to day.
Do you think it's almost, I don't even know how to phrase it, like it's almost normal now? Like the shock factor is gone when something like this happens?
Yeah, like it's numbing. Not to be like, oh, another kid got shot. Yeah, well, you know, it is what it is. Don't just walk away and move on from it, but it's like, damn, another one. Like you know, like how much can you cry? Like how much anger can you have? Or you know, if you like to break things, you'd have nothing to break because it's happening so frequently. You just like, it's just heavy, and it's hard on the body. You just go, you know, like what else do I have to give to the subject matter? Like it's like you don't push it away, but it's like every time you get something new, and it's like how much more of this can you really take? But you have no control of it because it's sad, but it's going to continue to happen unless their ratifications within the system, and you know, these law enforcement officers are not just, we're past the being held accountable standpoint. It needs to be more of the, we need good officers. You know, we don't want, I killed a kid, okay, that guy goes to jail. Accountability. Okay, he killed a kid, that guy goes to jail. Accountability. No, like just stop killing people. We can just get there like cops stop killing, trained officers to stop killing defenseless people. That'd be a good place to start. Not being scared of defenseless people and telling defenseless people you shouldn't be scared of a person with a gun to your head. Like, you know, we're kind of backwards in America these days.
So you mentioned you have personal experience in these type of situations. Can you talk about one of them?
I mean, yeah, you know, maybe I was maybe 16 driving, like leaving my aunt's house. She lived in a fairly nice neighborhood. You know, there weren't mansions, but it was a pretty good neighborhood in Chicago. And it was just me, two of my friends, we were leaving her house. I think we were getting ready to go home. And we got pulled over by the cops. And, you know, clean car. I think I just got my license. So the speeding tickets hadn't started accruing just yet. But you know, for the most part, we were clean dudes, you know, we weren't gang affiliated or anything of that nature. Not like it mattered because they don't know. All they do is pull over the car. And as they pull up to the car, the guns are drawn. Like they're flashing lights, guns. I get a knock on the window, let it down. And the whole time, this is how he's talking to me. Where are you going? What are you doing? Who do you know around here? It was like shook. Like, I couldn't really vocalize, you know, what he was asking me because like instantly my mouth was dry. Am I gonna lose my life? I might lose my life right here, right now. And I don't even know why. For nothing. I've been in that neighborhood many a times. Many a times. There was no reason, you got a tail light out. This registration is, you know, your car isn't registered. You're speeding. There was nothing along the lines of that. It was a simple, what are you doing around here? Who are you? Who do you know? Luckily, nothing took place. But I mean, we sat there for like another 10 minutes, like, bro, we got lucky. That's it. We got lucky, not doing anything wrong, but we got lucky. So it was like, yeah, like I get what people out there are going through. It's terrifying getting pulled over by the cops. And you just don't know. You don't know how this is gonna go.
So how do you cope with that as a 16-year-old and currently, how do you cope with that these instances are happening?
I mean, outside of that 10 minutes that me and my boys, I mean, we sat there, you know, cried, and just kind of went about our daily lives from there. I knew it was something that I couldn't tell my mother. She uh, she might have turned Chicago upside down. But I internalized it. I just we kept it between like the three of us. I mean, we told people at school like, bro, it was crazy, but you know, never told anybody in my family or anything of that nature. But I mean, I mean, nowadays I try to do, and since then I've been pulled over by cops, and you know, my process, you know, if the keys are out or if I got to push start, I throw it all on the dash. I put the license on the dash. I got the hands on the wheels. I got the window cracked. So at no given point in time, is there any misconception or there was misunderstanding on what I'm reaching for, what I'm doing, why I'm moving? No, I'm 10 and 2. How you doing? At one point in time, I was driving a caddy. I got pulled over in like Minnesota, no, in Alabama. My driver's side window didn't go down. I'm like, bro, this is how you get shot. So I had to let down the back window and talk to the officer like this and kind of explain like, hey, look, this window don't go down, right? That's why I'm talking like this. I got nothing in this car. He's like, I'm gonna need you to open the door. I'm like, all right, look, I'm gonna open the door. Matter of fact, I'm gonna unlock the door. You gonna open it. I'm gonna unlock it. But I really don't want to be moving my hands and things of that nature like that. And, you know, it's different because they try to tell you, you know, that just relax. So nothing's gonna happen. To hell, like people been relaxed before. People been minding their own business, real relaxed, and end up dead. So while you stop me, I'm gonna let you do all the work that you feel you need to have done. So this thing unlocked. You go ahead, open it. Everything you need is up here. My hands is all like always in sight. And even then, that's not safe. So like that's kind of how I treat it now. But you know, with the deaths and you know, the younger generation, well, with some of the young people dying, you know, something happened. I call home. I call my brother. He 19. I go, yo, you good? like, you straight, you hear what happened? I call my young cousin and kind of talk to people because it's I fear that maybe one day it could be them. You know, it could be me. I feel like one day it could be them, and no, it's unsettling.
Being a staff member at Michigan, do you have these conversations with your student athletes or some of the students there?
Not
Topics
re-
like this?
not real deep, you know. Unfortunately, you know, it happens so frequently, and you know, we have the TVs going and things of that nature, typically on ESPN. But you know, when things like this happen, the sportscasters they discuss them, and you know, I talk about it with a few guys, and you know, we kind of just chop it up back and forth. You know, like this is getting out of control. It's messed up, and you know, talk about it in those moments, but I wouldn't say it gets real deep or anything like that. It's more of a kind of a bit of a check-in, I'll see, like how you doing, man? Like you good, with all this, and like, yeah, man, it's just rough seeing it so frequently.
So what do you do for self-care to help with these situations?
I mean, I like music. I'm a big music guy. I got like a 30-minute drive home, so just letting the music rock. I got a 2-year-old at home. She keeps me busy. I enjoy being able to come home and play with her when I have the time and she's not in bed. So those moments are big for me. Typically in the past, I can go to the court, kind of play a little basketball, but with my schedule doesn't necessarily allow for things of that nature. But that's really it. Talk to my wife. We hang out, watch a little Netflix or whatever, or call my mom. But just trying to stay in touch, stay close to my family, and being there in those moments with my daughter and my wife, since working D1 athletics, the time with them is so limited. I try to make sure I take advantage of that as much as I can, really.
So trying to get that Hall of Fame basketball career going.
Yeah, working
You
on it.
never know.
You never just drop it, put it to the side. You go, let me do a little bit of practice. You never know. You never know.
So speaking of music, what are you listening to? What's your go-to?
I mean, that Cold World off season just dropped. So, if J. Cole, Jermaine Cole, if you watching this, you my man's 50 grand, but that's my man's all day, every day. Love some Cole. But I got my playlist, it's on shuffle right now. So it just goes. So, 1 minute I had that Chance the Rapper bumping, and the next minute it might be some Kirk Franklin. And then the next song might be some 2 Chainz. So I'm up and down with it. I just like the vibe. I just let it go. I can praise the Lord. Next thing you know, I'm in the club. So I'm all over the place with it. But that's what I do. But yeah, that J. Cole, that's been steady this week since Friday.
So if you had a theme song, like a walkout song, what would your song be?
Ah man. This is crazy. So I take that Bulls intro. My wife and I, that's how we like entered our reception after we got married. I mean, being from Chicago, like that song that does something for me. It gets my blood hot, gets me ready. But yeah, like that Bulls intro, that's me all day.
I love it. So Netflix, what was the last show you watched and what should I be watching right now?
Right. I don't remember I just finished The Circle season 2. Uh
So my boss was watching it in the training room the other day. And I was just like, what are we watching right now?
Oh no, the Circle is not training room approved.
If my boss puts it on, who am I to say
Well,
anything?
fair enough, yeah. When the boss is calling the shots, you go do what you do, big time. But right now, I'm watching this show called Startup. It's about this group of individuals, kind of odd individuals. It's this one girl, techie, writing code, trying to have her own cryptocurrency. And then this investment banker kind of gets pulled in because his dad is crooked, laundering money, or whatever the case may be. And then this drug dealer gets involved because he took his money, gave it to the crooked money laundering dad to clean. Dad ends up going AWOL, gives this little flash drive to son, goes, hey, you do what you want to do with this money. It's up to you. Boom, I'm gone. And so somehow these three come together because she pitches this idea to this investment banker, like, hey, I just need money for this cryptocurrency thing to take off, right? And then drug dealer dude comes in, guns blazing, like, where's my money? I know dad is gone, but where's my paper? So they got to pitch it to them, like, we don't have your money. It's in this. And, they end up going into business together. I'm still watching, but it's a pretty good series.
I'm gonna have to check that out. I got a long bus ride ahead of me next week.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's something that'll keep you entertained, keep your eyes glued to the screen.
Cool. So last question, and it's my favorite question. Tell me about an embarrassing moment you've had as an athletic trainer, and what did you learn from it?
I've had a lot.
Don't we all? But we repress them, don't we? We try and just walk it off.
I'll give you two. So one of them, I was a seasonal intern with the Pats. Game day, we're playing the Bills, and LaShawn McCoy goes down on like somewhere between the 5 and the 10 of their own goal line. And so injury timeout, right? So I run out there, watering the defense, cool. Next thing I know, one of the players looks at me dead in my eye and goes, you gotta get the F off the field. I'm like, what? And I turn around because my back is towards Buffalo. I turn around, they've clap, broken huddle, quarterback is approaching. Oh God. So boom. I didn't know that Buffalo the medical staff had walked Shady out of the back of the end zone versus taking him to their sideline. So I can see what's going on. So they walked him out of the back of the end zone, and the ref's like, all right, well, let's get it going then. So I'm like, hauling off the field. Bills lightning to me. And I'm like, damn, this is a national televised game. Like, the world is watching this dude just eat me alive. I'm like, well, that sucked. And then I had a guy last year, was rehabbing the ACL. So because of the Rona, we didn't get to have spring ball. And around that time, he was supposed to be transitioning back into like individual work, starting some light contact, things of that nature, but that didn't happen. So we had to kind of work those drills on the backside when he came back from home after all the madness. So he's about 10 months out, and we began to kind of work some light contact drills with him. He's an offensive lineman, so pulling and doing things that offensive linemen do. Now, the first couple of reps, I had a bag, so he'd come downhill and try to hit me. I hit him, he pushed me away, and I'm like, all right, good, perfectly good. And I had been doing all this stuff with like scissors in my pocket. I had my phone, I had my radio on me. And I'm like, oh man, let me take all this stuff out, just in case I fall or something. So I'm like 10 yards out. I'm like, hey, look, you're gonna pull, you're gonna come downhill, boom, hit the bag. This is probably gonna be like our last rep, right? Cool. So I'm like, all right, boom, hit. He comes off, boom. And I'm coming downhill, and he lifts me off my feet into the air, and I fall like, boom, smack dab on my back. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? And I instantly like pop up to see if anybody saw. There was another athletic trainer and my GA, like at the far end of the field going, oh my God.
I'm going to have to work on Pierre, my preceptor.
They come down and they're like, are you okay? I'm like, I'm fine. I'm fine. I was like, first thing I said is, where are the cameras? Because there's no way this can be on video. I don't need a soul to see this. And I'm like, what is your problem? Like, it's fine. He's like, yeah, that's 10 months pent up aggression and hatred right there. And I'm like, that's fine. I'll take that. If you're feeling that good and we've gotten to this point where you can comfortably do that, I'll take that. That means I did a good job. I did a good job preparing you and getting you ready. So it was a lighthearted moment. But yeah, he lifted me off my feet and he put me on my back. It hurt a little while. Back was a tad bit sore, but you know, he made that hit and I said, oh yeah, we can go ahead and play football now.
How much was that spoken about afterwards? Was this still a
A,
topic maker?
a couple of days, you know, but luckily, you know, not everybody was for them. Not everybody was there. Not everybody was in the building. So not too many people saw it, which was good for me. Because too many people seen it, it would have been too much chatter about it. But we talk about it frequently when he comes in here and you know we got a new ACL. I got an ACL I'm working with now, and you know he'll see me working with a guy and he's like, oh, just wait about 9-10 months. You get to hit him back. So he likes to joke about that, but you know, just a couple of days. It didn't linger too long.
So was there video?
I mean, so we got video, like it's always rolling, but after 30 days, those videos like they expire. So nobody checked the video, nobody saw the video. So now nobody knows it unless I tell them.
Small wins, small wins.
Oh yeah. You got to take those. You can't let them have anything on you or hang it over your head.
So next couple minutes is for you, Pierre, your closing statement.
I mean, I really don't have much of a. I don't know what to do here in this closing statement without a prompt.
Advice for young professionals, advice for people working towards a goal or a dream.
Oh, okay. Then see, I can work with stuff like that. Advice for people working towards a goal or dream: keep pushing, keep grinding. You know, if it was something that you just have all willy nilly, they really call it working or goal, and just be something you had. But you know, if it's something you really value, it's something that you really desire, you really won't let anything stand in your way of achieving it and obtaining it. You know, no matter how long it takes, just because it's not something you're able to do within the time frame of 6 months, a year, or 2 years, that doesn't mean it's unattainable. You know, your dream may have been deferred, but it's not really denied unless you let it die and just say, I have no more energy to devote to this. So, you know, don't let dreams die. You know, pursue, be hungry, be tenacious, be stingy about your time with accomplishing your goals, and don't let anybody or anything else get in your way. You know, if people not willing to help, people want to talk bad about you or say, you know, don't do that. You know what you're doing. Use things like that as motivation. I use that as motivation. You think I can't do it? I appreciate it. Thank you. Give me a little time. I got something for you. You'll see it. I don't need to talk about it, but in due time, you'll see it. For young professionals, you know, especially those newly certified, this is just the beginning. The learning continues. You know, you never stop. If you do, you won't be good. Not many people will trust you. You won't be able to get that job you think you want, because if you want something and you think you don't need to continue to learn, you're not going to be good in this profession, and nobody's really going to want to be around you or have you touch their athletes or their patients because they don't see value in you to better yourself. So, you know, continue to get better, continue to learn from anybody, any ways you can. Now, everything you learn may not be good. You don't necessarily need to utilize everything that someone is teaching you. But if you can pick what you like, get rid of what you don't like, and use that to help you better yourself, you know, as long as you're making progress, that's a big thing with me and my guys, and things that I tell them, you know, I'll go, what's the word of the day? I'll say progress. I'll give a guy that every single day. If we're making progress, we're moving in the right direction.
So here's to me being Joe Montana in the future, and to your basketball Hall of Fame career, to our dreams. And Pierre, thank you so much for taking the time.
There you go. No problem. Son, you gotta be like Kobe. You just gotta shoot it. You just gotta shoot it.
Pierre, I'll talk to you soon.
All right, thank you.